Oh, I am here. Good. Looks like it's working. Yep. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it's got some audio. How's everyone doing? What's up, Pudgy? What's up, Rick? Hey, what's up, Patty? Yeah, we're starting. We're coming in like this. So I should probably aim the camera down. Oh, I have a 24 millimeter lens on the camera because I took the lens I usually use for this on the road, and I have not set anything up again. So one of the reasons before I adjust the camera, I'll say it real quick. The reason I'm late, um, I went to Missing Falls for dinner, and then Kenny, who hasn't been riding much, and you guys know Kenny, he brings me the beer sometimes. Uh, Sorry, I have my Wahoo here, threw me off when I got texted. But yeah, Kenny, brings the beers for the channel. He's going to be a channel sponsor. Brought a porcelain sign over here. Ran into him, so had a beer with him. And then my buddy Scott and his partner Michael showed up, who are cyclists, and I haven't seen them all summer. So talking to them. And then two of the gravel badasses and two of their friends showed up after mountain biking at East Rim. So then I'm having another beer talking to them. So Nicole and Tina, if you followed the Gravel Badass series, were just there. And then I was explaining to their friends about some of the cycling stuff. They asked about party size because Nicole had some of their stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'm wearing a party size bandana right now. And then I said, I got to get out of here. I'm going to live stream. Then the two friends were like, what does that mean? And then I'm explaining the live stream. And Tina's like, well, aren't you supposed to be doing that right now because it's 9 o'clock? And I'm like, yeah, I really need to get going. So, anyways, this is how it went. And then I didn't have any of my. So when I got here, none of my equipment was set up because I had taken it on the road with me on the Route 66 ride. So yeah, cool. It's all working. What's up, Whiskey Six? How you doing? Oh, Patty. Yeah, you don't know what time it is out here. So it's what 9:50. Yeah. Um, did I call you fat, Pudgy? I don't think so. William, what's up? Raymond, what's up? Uh, my notification chime is on. Yeah, I need to turn this off. I think it already synced. So, yeah, got the. Yeah, that was a short ride for spending 4 hours on my bike, but it was worth. It was fun. Just fun to run into people and hang out. So, uh, yeah, one of these nights. So, oh, and then yeah, the final gravel badass. I dropped it before I left. For some reason, my internet was so slow; it was taking forever to upload. But I had to go live while I was sitting there talking to Kenny. So, I don't think I saw any comments with any problems with it because usually I like to watch the video and make sure YouTube hasn't made any mistakes or my video doesn't have any errors in it. But I haven't had the chance, so hopefully everything was all good with that. Let me uh, Let me adjust that. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I'll adjust the camera down at least a little bit. So where jokes go to die. Yeah, Pudgy. Well, as you could tell, I'm a little more off than usual as I'm trying to get myself going. But I still felt like I wanted to come and jump on because it's been a week, right? Over a week ago Tuesday. So, and I'm pretty excited about the finishing up 6 episodes of Gravel Badass. Otis sent out a cool email to some of I think it was to the QBP bike people to share it with them because almost everyone's riding a Salsa or an All City or one of their bikes in the videos and asked those guys if they were interested in being a part of it. And so even if it was in a minor way, if some more sponsorship came through, that would be obviously be cool. That's something totally be worth looking into. But yeah, so got finally getting caught up. Oh, Patty's more on than usual. Let's see what he's got. He said he's got a drink pick. Oh, what is that? Let me get this up here. I'm still not used to this new since they changed my software so much. But oh my God, a quadruple India Pale Ale at 13.2%. I think this is the first time I've heard someone call their pale ale a quad, right? El Segundo, yeah. Lost in the MA, what would that be? Pudgy said it's been long enough that some of the new bike picks now have newer model options. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Agnew? You said you can confirm. Just finished watching the finale and it turned out great. Thanks. Yeah, I thought that was a great episode. Michael Foster was awesome. He's one of those people I know through the shop, through Dirty River. And we talk when we ride bikes and hang out, but it was pretty cool to film that episode because we got dinner after and everything, me, Aaron, and him, and had a couple beers. And it was probably the first time that I had spent more like, well, not one-on-one, but the three of us just hanging out. It's always been in more of a group setting, so it was really fun to just get to know him personally a little more because I've always liked him and we've always got along, but there's always, a bunch of other people around when we're chatting, so. Oh, Lost in the Malai. Lost in the Mail. Gotcha, Patty. Yeah. Rick said Mike's cool because he's old. Yeah, Mike's an interesting character. It's one of those things, too, when we film these Gravel Badasses, we have a conversation and a beer before we film them. If people want to have a beer, you don't have to have a beer. But then we do the ride and film it. But then, like on this one, since we rode in one direction, we ride back. And then we're chatting even more. And sometimes I'm like, now I wish we were filming some of this conversation because it's like we were just getting warmed up. But I think, we're aiming for that 20-minute line. So, you can only cover so many things. But there has been even Tina, that's who I just ran into. She was like, man, I wanted to talk about some of the mental health aspects of riding the bike and stuff like that. So, and it's that's kind of the cool thing about doing a produced video, like the original thing we did with Aaron, where me and her sat down and talked. That's like a 20-minute video, but we filmed for an hour, and then I used B-roll to cover the cuts to make it look like a flowing conversation. And so then I could just pull the stuff that was really good, and we could stop and think about it. When we do this format, it doesn't really allow for editing. We do edit the endings. We have, I think, on probably 50% of the videos. So I have that front-facing camera, and the reason I have that is so I could make it look seamless. So sometimes we just stop in place and we talk about how we're going to wrap it up and if Aaron has a couple more questions. So there is a tiny bit of Hollywood magic going on in the videos. With Flacco, we planned the ending. We stopped over by Dirty River and decided how we were going to have Aaron ride off. We did it with Micah at the beer bridge, and we did it with Michael Foster when we pulled in front of that shipping container thing. But in general, it's just a flowing conversation. So even though I think that's cool and that's the vibe is that it's very natural, it is kind of a bummer sometimes because there are things after the fact you're like, oh, I wish we talked about that. But I think it's worthwhile overall to keep it that natural kind of way. Plus it makes it so I can make as many of them as I did. As you can imagine, the editing is no matter what. If it's a 20-minute video, I have to watch a 20-minute video multiple times. So if it was going to be a sit-down conversation and edit it in an hour, I would just never get them done, with my regular job. So. Hey, what's up, Orlando? You got a Panasonic DX2000. Nice. Oh, Pudgy said podcasters typically say never chat before the interview since you lose so much of the info. Yeah. I feel like we do it to set people at ease because, we're interviewing people who just ride bikes who are not used to being on camera. Like Tina said, she was nervous about it. So the idea to have a beer and a conversation, I feel for this situation helps put people at ease. A little less necessary with someone like Micah who we're super close with. But or Bronlin, who we already talk about this stuff, multiple times a week. But Dylan, did someone say cover the cuts? Yeah. Yeah, this isn't pathless pedaled. We don't jump cut on this channel. So oh, there we go. Rick said I prefer jump cuts, and Dylan said rust cuts. Yeah. Again, he just put out a new video with the that new Swift Industries bags. If you guys saw it, it's more of that like typical style bike packing bag, like off the saddle. What do you call those? Sausage bags, whatever. But again, he has all this footage of the bag. Why are you using jump cuts? Cover it with B-roll. Anyways. Panasonic does titanium bikes? I had no idea. Dimitri, you're late? You're not? Yeah, I've only been here for 5 minutes, Dimitri. The first jump cut is the deepest. Yeah, Orlando, if you're not in the Discord, jump in the Discord and drop a picture of your bike if you have it, and we'll pull it up on screen. I'm not familiar with that model of Panasonic. I could Google it, but it wouldn't be your bike. So let's see. Is our robot working? Maybe we can make it drop a link to the Discord. But yeah, a message board where you can put pictures of your bike. Oh, it's not. So none of the, what the hell? So annoying. What's up, Jay Dandy? Rick, Russ is not a jump cut god. So, like I've said, I'm not a fan of jump cuts no matter what. But when you watch like Peter McKinnon or, I don't know, one of the big YouTubers who use jump cuts, I don't know. Who's another? I'm trying to think. All my stuff is photography related, not cycling related when it comes to that. But they have a cadence, at least to their jump cuts. They know how to space them. Like Russ's are so jarring to me. Sorry, I can't stand them. But like I said, I'm a fan. I watch every single video the guy puts out, but I hate the jump cuts. Before the Gravel Badass interviews, just keep yelling, "Shut up, we're not ready." Yeah, I don't know why Stream Elements isn't working. So, Whiskey, you're asking what a jump cut is. So, a jump cut is just a straight cut in a video. So, Russ will be talking, and then he must take a deep breath and think about his next point. And when he edits, he just cuts that out. And so you'll see him it's like Max Headroom. He's standing here saying like, "So I love the new Swift bag. What are the cons?" And then all of a sudden it's like, first thing, it just like the video just cuts with nothing covering the cut. Like professional video production in general, what you're going to do and what I do when I'm talking about bike packing or anything is when I lose my train of thought or I need to look at my notes, I cut the video too and put it back together so it sounds like it's one sentence, but then I'll put a picture of a video of whatever I'm talking about over it. So I cover the cut. A jump cut is when you don't cover it. So it's just very jarring. Now that I'm bringing up, you'll notice this all the time on YouTube. Like it's the only place people uses it. No television show would ever have a jump cut in it. Raymond said, "Great, Van Halen's jump is now stuck in your head." Now you just did that to all of us. So, yeah. Hey, what's up, Jason? How you doing? Oh, now Stream Elements is working. Weird. Yeah, ever since my software updated, everything is kind of random. Oh, I made a Max Headroom reference like everyone would know what that is. Flock of geese o'clock. Oh, it is 10 o'clock. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Terry? How you doing? I've been so busy, Terry. I've been missing like all your live streams lately. It's been a bummer. Like I get the notification on my phone, and like when we were I was out on Route 66 last week, and I'm like, but then I'm like, well, I'm also doing a cool video job on Route 66. But I did just watch your night ride video with the 360, the Insta360, which was pretty cool though. Two lights and everything. So I always like the Insta360 just put out like this has been a crazy camera week because the iPhone 14 reviews came out, the GoPro 11 came out, the DJI Osmo Action 3 came out, which thank God they went back to a normal form factor. I still think the GoPro 11 is going to be a better camera. And then Insta360 put out their new camera on Monday? And I'm always like, I see those Insta360 cameras or 360 cameras in general, and I'm always like, I want one of those to be able to do that kind of stuff. But then I'm always like, man, I don't want to have to jump through another layer of editing. And I know it's supposed to be much easier now, but I still just like, I don't know. I haven't been able to. I keep stopping myself from pulling the trigger on the 360 cameras because it's hard enough just being a hobbyist YouTuber to have to, to just try and get content out. So I only have a few hours a day. Yeah, I ordered the Hero 11 right away. Like when I saw it got announced, I ordered the Hero 11. The X3 looked really good too. That footage, it did look like a step up in the quality on the X3. The 11, the big thing to me is, and I know some people are complaining about it, but the more almost square-like sensor, like, and Terry, you probably know this too, is like, I do like to recut my footage into Instagram Reels and even YouTube. What do they call theirs now? Whatever. But the vertical format, and to be able to pull 4K footage in either direction after the fact is a big deal. I think having the boost stabilization only come on when it needs to, that auto boost or whatever they're calling it on the GoPro 11 is going to be a big deal. And then 10-bit. I haven't been grading my GoPro footage just as a time constraint. I would like to, but with having 10-bit in there, I think I might end up starting to, like, maybe I'll come up with a formula so I could pop grades on there really quick. So it's just cool to know you're going to have way more editing leeway with that. So there are some things about the 11 that's compelling. I don't think like your average GoPro owner who has a 10 needs to go out and buy the 11, but for someone like you or me who use it like almost every day, I think it's a compelling upgrade. So, and I like to film with two GoPros now a lot, like the Gravel Badass series. So I'm using the 10 and the 9, and the 9 is just glitchy. Like it has the old processor, and I'm always worried something's going to happen with the 9. So the 10 has been almost rock solid for me. The only thing once in a while with the 10 is there, and this only happens like once out of 200 clips, but I turn it on and the stabilization will be just absolutely wild. It'll just be bouncing around like crazy, and I just have to turn it off and turn it back on, and it's always fine. But there is one glitch I get with the 10, and it's that. But again, it's like, man, I don't even know. It's probably less than that. It's probably like 1 out of 500 times I turn it on. But the 9 is very glitchy. I still get a lot of glitches on that. Terry, you're doing dishes and your phone is wet? Nice. Jim asked if I ride in the winter. I do. I have my original bicycle, like my original adult bicycle is an old Trek mountain bike from 2001. And, well, I had one before that and it got stolen. It's the bike I replaced it with. It's 26-inch wheel bike. I have 45 North Grabdell studded tires on it. So I'll ride all the way down to like mid-teens. And I could do about an hour, then I need to warm up if it's like in the teens. But yeah, I ride all winter long. Last winter sucked. We got dumped on here, like just horrible snowstorms. And so they couldn't like get shoulders ever cleared or any of the bike paths. Like the bike paths were unrideable for months, like a month and a half at a time. But yeah, I ride all winter. I tried to do the trainer thing. This room for my live stream setup, the reason I have a computer down here, it was a trainer setup. And I found that I would rather go out and even just push around in shitty weather than do the trainer thing that much. Still do it occasionally just to keep the legs moving because I don't like cold rain. I don't ride in 35 and rainy. Like I'm never going to do that. I don't care. But as far as like I would rather have it be like under 30 and snowy. That's like kind of my thing, I guess. Rick said Van Halen's Jump wasn't that bad. Oh, that's a horrible song, man. Yeah, I'm excited that the new GoPro is coming with the Enduro battery because I don't have any of them and I do film in the winter. So GoPros, like, you can't mount a GoPro in the winter, it'll die so fast. Say you mount it to your bars or your chest, at least in my experience, like in cold weather. So I'm excited for the Enduro battery, which does much better. I have like 5 of the 9 and 10 batteries. So I'm looking forward to that element. And I might order an extra one as well. But what I do with the GoPro is I always have some kind of interior pocket to put it in so it kind of stays warm against my body. Or I'll even take those little hot hands hand warmers. And so, like, I ride with a Chrome vest a lot in the winter, the brand Chrome Industries, and it has a really big back pocket on it. And so I'll put some of the hand warmers in there and put the GoPro in it so it keeps it out of the wind. But yeah, the Enduro battery, from all the things I've seen online, seems like really worthwhile. So, hey, what's up, Sleepy Hollow? Terry's gonna go reshoot the cross country trip with a GP11 so he could grade it. Yeah. Oh yeah, no snow talk. Rick, Jump was your wedding song? I know you're lying. You better be lying. Yeah, I don't think there's like a lowest temperature I'll ride in. I mean, like, there's been a couple years where we get, what do they call that? Like, where the Canadian air really hits our region and we'll get like negative temperatures. And I guess, like, I'm probably not going to go out in -2. I have no reason to. Like, I live at the studio, so I like don't, I'm not like commuting somewhere. Like, I don't have, and I do own a car, so I don't have to ride in that kind of weather. Like, that's what I say about the rain thing too. It's just, I think anything below 40 and rainy, like 32 to 40 in the rain, is something I'm going to avoid. But yeah, Pudgy, you like the cold weather, and some people are like, you know, and I like the snow when it's first, like snow rides when it first starts snowing in like December, early January. But I get so sick of it after a little while. I just want to go out on my bike. Everything takes longer in the winter. Not even cycling, just everything. Like, but cycling, you have to like plan ahead. You have to start to think of like how many layers do I need? I don't want to get sweaty. I'm gonna go out cold, this and that, and it's just a whole pain in the ass. But I do it, and there's a lot of times when I get myself out the door, and I'm so glad I did. Like, there's nights where we just go and ride the towpath south to like a brewery in Barberton, like 10 miles down, get a beer, and 10 miles back. And on the way back, it's so peaceful. No one else is using the trail. No on your left, no ringing your bell. Like, there are times when I really, really like it. But it's interesting. We're getting into the time of year right now where it can be like kind of uncomfortable because, like, even today, like, we hit 75 and then it drops and you come back out to your bike if you go in somewhere and your bike's all wet, from the dew point and all that. And when it starts, not quite yet, but like in a couple weeks when it starts dropping into the 50s at night, when you're used to summer, that is such a change. Like, from when you went out in shorts and a t-shirt, get a beer somewhere, and then come back out and dinner. Maybe that's like what we do on our Wednesday night rides, and come back out to your bike and go to ride home. That like 25-degree swing feels so much more dramatic than even once you're used to just winter temperatures. To me, anyways. But the Pointer Sisters jump. Oh, Pudgy says he misses beard sickles. He wants his face looking like a wind chime when you're done. Uh, Mel Torme's version of Jump. That's a God. I know the name Mel Torme, but I couldn't even. Is that like Barry Manilow style music? I have no idea. Drink beer outside, and if it's strong enough, it won't freeze. Yeah, I find that amazing how, come February, you're standing around in the high 20s and it doesn't feel that bad at all. One of the things, too, I've upgraded is having like the puffy jacket with me. And like, I used to think like just go out cold and get used to it so you don't get sweaty. But now I will leave with like my down jacket on and then just stop and take it off and stuff it away in the bag, you know. But Jay Dandy said you were told there was going to be a Funny Brad showdown. I saw something in the Discord about that, but I didn't know what they meant. So I was riding with Funny Brad last night. We had a blast. Ben Large Marge somehow found more off-road trails in Akron that we haven't been to. It's amazing that we are still finding new stuff around this. Like, it's not a big place, as you guys probably know, Akron, Ohio, but in Summit County, we are still finding new off-road cuts. Like, if you know Akron, they built two dirigibles back here in the 20s, Zeppelins, and in the teens actually. And there's this huge air dock, and there's this like old airport, and it's kind of an older part of Akron. And we were out that way. Some of you guys who came on the industrial gravel ride saw it. It's where the abandoned stadium is. That's in some of my videos. And we found new cuts back that way, which was just awesome. Going through the woods like mountain biking style, Rudy, little like dirt hills and stuff like that. Just so cool. But I filmed some of it. I haven't looked at the footage yet to see if it's a worthwhile video, but yeah. Oh, Orlando said he dropped a photo of his new Panasonic. Oh, there we go. Nice. Oh, rad. Yeah. The handmade thing always cracks me up. They always put that on French bikes, and this is not a comment on your bike, but they would put handmade on really cheap French bikes, and it's like, yeah, everything was handmade. Like, that's how bikes are made. But yeah. Is that what is that, like a Shimano 600 group set? Or that's later. That might even be like Ultegra. Mel Torme. I'm gonna look up Mel Torme. I swear to God, like I said, it's just a name I know, and I have no idea. Then again, I'm not like 100 years old like Rick, so. The Velvet Fog is his nickname. Oh, Chestnuts Open on a Roasting Fire is him. Okay. Well, I learned something. I learned something tonight. It wasn't about bicycles, but oh, Orlando, you said your bike has Shimano 105 on it. Okay, so yeah. Hey, what's up, Dos Tacos? Do I have any 90 Steels mountain bike? Yeah. There's one sitting on my rack right here. This is now featured in a bunch of the videos, but this is a 1996 Team Marin. Obviously, I only bought the frame, and then I bought a new old stock fork for it because it came with a suspension fork. Everything else on the bike is obviously newer Velo Orange cranks, Velo Orange bars, 9-speed Ultegra group set, Thompson setback seat post. Pudgy gave me these spin wheels. I want to make a full video about it. I've made a little bits and pieces about it, but I haven't done a full video about this build. Turn on the light. Yeah, I just happened to have this on the stand. This before I left for Route 66. I can't even remember why, but yeah. I was changing something out for it, but oh, and then that's the Velo Orange Happy Stem. Because if you know anything about 90s mountain bikes, like the reach is so long, and if you put drops on them, which I was riding with a normal Velo Orange stem, just a flat one, and just like with the way my back is and the way I ride anymore, it was just way too slammed. So the Happy Stem bumps the bars up, so it makes it much more comfortable. And I rode this um, across the Gap and CNO trails, so put like what 380 miles on it on a bike packing trip, and it was great for that. And these nice wide, the nice 2.1-inch Gravel Kings were cool to have like nice cushy tires on that. And then the brakes are vintage Mayfac cantilevers. They don't have a lot of stopping power, but they look cool. So, anyways, yeah. And this is the lightest steel frame I've ever held in my life. Like, it's double butted chromoly. I think they call it. I can never remember how you pronounce it, but it's the Japanese steel Tange, Tange, Ultimo. But the frame itself is like incredibly light. It actually is super springy. You could feel like the flex in the frame when you ride, when you put power through the pedals. It's nuts. But that and these long cranks, because it would have come with a triple originally, just makes it feel like it's an interesting feeling bike. Yeah. Anywho. Oh, Pudgy, I do want those 11-speed Ultegra levers. I'm about to rebuild the my Raleigh, my daily driver, my gravel bike that I ride everywhere. I have a new chain. I have new cranks for it because when I got hit by the car, they got bent. Got a new bottom bracket. Got a Dura-Ace bottom bracket for it. It's 105 cranks. Um, I've talked about it before, but I got those new Velo Orange brakes. What are those called? Dylan has them on a bike. Whatever those new Velo Orange cranks are, I got those too. Our brakes. I anodized. What color are mine? Mine are blue because the bike's red and blue, so I think they'll look cool. But those levers would probably be good to have. It. I've actually had some problems with my old 105 11-speed levers. I wonder if I could. Man, I was thinking about building that up on Monday. I wonder if I could get those from you. Oh, that steel Pudgy is pronounced Tange? Yeah, I've never known how to pronounce that. Yeah. Tange. Yeah, Tange. Oh, Rick, you took your Rivendell, uh, as Large always makes fun of me for saying Rivendell, on gnarly mountain bike trails, and it performed well. How is it climbing though? Does it kind of suck to climb with that, and it just bombs like the downhills, or does it feel all right to climb on one of those Gusses? No velvet jump cut. Hey, what's up, William? How you doing? Oh, this weekend I have the Topaz Century Ride, a big fundraiser I have to shoot, and then Sunday we have the. Oh, and by the way, anyone who's in the Akron area, we have the Akron Coffee Roasters Metric Century Ride on Sunday. I think we're meeting at 8 o'clock at Asterix, and it's free this year. There's going to still be 3 stops for coffee and beer and lunch. So, my friend just messaged, must be watching the live stream that I was hit by a car. Yeah, as you guys know from watching the video or I've talked about on the stream, I got super lucky when I got hit by that car because turned my shoe black from the tire, and didn't even go down, but bent the hell out of my crankset. Yeah, so that's what a crank's supposed to look like. That's what the car did do it. Put that much force through my pedal. So yeah, no chance I could get down there this weekend. So unfortunately, I do want to come and see you guys and ride with both of you again. But it's yeah. Oh, Rick said the Riv climbs like a goat. I find that hard to believe, but I'll take your word for it. Oh, Jay Dandy, you might come. Oh, that's another meetup thing. Um, yeah, Akron Bike Party is tomorrow night. I think I'm gonna hit that up too. I was just, like I said, I was just at Missing Falls hanging out with some people, and a couple of them were saying they were gonna go. So I think I might do that as well. So hopefully I'll get to see you out there, Jay Dandy, and anyone else in the area. 7 o'clock at Missing Falls, just a chill 10-mile ride. Oh, Whiskey Six, you said you want to do the ACR ride, but you've never done 60 miles. I don't want to like I don't want to say go for it if you've never done anything close, but it is like in general, like there might be a group that goes up the road, but it is usually kind of like a party pace style ride. It can be, and with the stops and eating some food, having a beer if you want it, type thing. There's been other riders who have come on it that have never done a 62-mile ride and have been fine. Um, yeah, I don't know your skill level, but I'd kind of say go for it. Yeah, Dos Tacos on the helmet thing. I almost always wear a helmet, but um, I'm not a helmet evangelist. Like, there's no proof that getting hit by a car. Terry made a good video about this with Bike Snob, New York City, who doesn't wear a helmet. There's no proof it does uh, do anything for you. The reason I wear one is because we drink a lot, and we Akron drivers aren't that don't pay that much attention, and we have a lot of cracked roads and stuff like that. To me, it's more about if I fall down and hit my head on the concrete, that's why I want a helmet on. But yeah, I'm not a helmet Nazi, but I wear one almost all the time. But I I still think it's up to everyone, and you shouldn't shame anyone because they got hit and weren't wearing one. That's not a cyclist's fault for getting hit by a car. So hey, what's up, Brett H out in San Diego? Yeah, your body, your choice, right? Yeah, you can't get abortions in Columbus, that's for sure. Not in Ohio. Not in this. I was having a conversation with someone who was saying Ohio's not a red state, and I'm like, Ohio is a red state now. We are a red state, gerrymandering or not. It sucks. Rick, you said on the Rivendell with the long chainstay, if you keep your weight back, you never lose traction. That's one of my problems. When I'm climbing, and I think maybe it's because I'm not funny because mountain bikes are my first bikes, but my inclination is to stand up. And it's taken me a long time to learn to keep my weight back over that rear wheel on really steep, loose stuff to keep traction. Hey, what's up, Larry? From Edmonton, Canada. Rick wears a helmet on his uterus. Oh, Brett H., you said you wrecked really bad on a race and hit your head on a fence post. Yeah, we never, like, none of me and my friends, when I got back into riding, ever wore helmets, and we were going out riding at night and drinking a lot of beer, and especially at that time, we were smoking weed and just like getting crazy and like going as fast as we could, and and we were riding vintage bikes like off road and stuff like that, and never wore one. And then kind of over time, all of us just ride so much that we just all got into them, and now pretty much everyone wears them all the time. But there was never any conversation about it. There was, I don't. My parents wanted me to wear one. You know, I don't live at home, but they would see my footage and they'd see my Instagram posts or whatever they might be, and be like. And finally, it was one of those things I just started wearing one. But yeah, so there's a couple times it's probably benefited me. I have knocked my head on the ground. I mean, I have a scar over my eye right here from uh, going down pretty hard on my way home one night. So, but I still, you know, when I go on like long bike tours, like the bike I was just showing on the bike trail, I mostly didn't wear a helmet. I mean, I would just have it attached to the bars, kind of like Terry on his cross country trip. Like I would put it on if we were like hitting like a city at night, but that was about it. So yeah, Doze, you said not shaming your life experience of slamming your helmet into a concrete keeps you wearing one, and that's how I am. I mean, it's like I mean, I've only needed my seatbelt twice in my life, right, in my car, but I still always just put it on as a why not. But yeah, I don't lecture anyone else on it. That's my whole thing about it. And like they've said, helmet laws and stuff like that. Uh, the reason not to do it is because they hinder people then from riding bikes. So yeah, and that's Sleepy Hollow. You said helmet in the woods always. Yeah, if you're going mountain biking and doing wild shit, that's what helmets are for. If you're like a total sport cyclist, like a racer, and you're going to bomb down mountains, you should be wearing a helmet. That's why they're compulsory. And like the pro Peloton, you have to wear a helmet. You should be wearing a helmet. They doing that crazy shit. Like that's what for sure. Um, so I forgot mine for Jay Dandy. I think I saw you out there, but Road Apple Roubaix, which is a gravel race. I mean, I wasn't racing it. I was going fairly hard, but it was like a cold. There's a little bit of ice, but since I rarely ever drive my bike anywhere, um, my habit is to put my helmet on. It's the last thing I do before I walk out of the basement here. I Since I drove with my bike, I forgot to bring a helmet, and I rode a 45-mile gravel race with no helmet on, and I thought people were going to get on my case. Only like two or three people said anything to me. One was like a little bit like, "You're an idiot," like that you shouldn't have even rode. But no one else even noticed really, and I'm still alive. So yeah. Oh, Jay Dan, you said you might. Yeah, Jay Dan, you should come out to the ACR Metric Century for sure. Brett H said, "Coast Highway out here is murder. You have to wear a helmet and take a lawyer with you." William, you said you always wear a helmet and feel naked without it. Yeah, we were riding. It's funny. We were This wasn't this summer, but last summer. We're riding. Where were we going? I don't know. We were gonna have a long day out on the bikes, like five of us, me, Large, Funny Brad, Aaron, and we're downtown Cuyahoga Falls, like 2 miles from here. And I hear Large say like, just raw dogging it. And Aaron looks around like, who's raw dogging it? And then she puts her hand on her head and she's like, I'm not wearing my helmet. And she's someone who has never, because when she started riding with us, and she hadn't ridden bikes, and we were all wearing helmets at that point. So uh, she really felt weird not having one on, but we didn't turn around. We kept going. But yeah, because she had never ridden a bike without a helmet. So for me, when I forget one, I'll be like, oh, shit, I'm not wearing my helmet. It happens probably just a couple times a year now that I just forget it. But Waffles and coffee. You said if you're chilling on a bike path, you're just wearing a cap, trails, helmet. Yeah. You know, one of the things is no matter how much I think I know what my ride is going to be, I don't. I think I end up doing something like tonight. I thought I was just going to go have dinner and a beer, do a couple miles and ride home, and then I'm coming home after dark. So it's like bike lights to me. It's like I used to be like, oh, I don't need to bring a bike light. I'm not going to ride after dark. Now it's like same thing. Like it's same thing with a gravel bike. It's almost why I always ride my gravel bike. I'm like my rides end up just like changing sometimes. I go out thinking one thing and I do something else. So it's like now I almost always ride my gravel bike. I almost always bring lights and I almost always wear my helmet because I never know where I'm going to end up when I leave my place. Like I think I know where I'm going to end up, but stuff just changes. So that's kind of I don't know, my just what I do. It's nothing. It's not preaching to anyone else. It's just what I do. Rick, you wear a helmet to watch my intro. Be like water, Terry says. Yeah, that's exactly what my buddy Eric always says. So, does anyone does anyone remember the skid lid? Hmm. What did Sleepy say? Better than pooping in your helmet. The skid lid. They were Euro cool mid '80s. Let's look it up. I hate wet, super wet. I lost my train of thought. Oh, headphones. Yeah, I don't. I have a Bluetooth speaker, and if I'm going for a ride and I really need music once in a while or whatever, put the Bluetooth speaker in the water bottle. Like runners and dog walkers with full headphones on, paying no attention. Yes, I find that super frustrating. I have one of those really nice bike bells that like really resonate and are super loud. I always forget the name, and I have the box back here so I don't forget the name. Uh, oh yeah, the spur cycles. Like these things are so great, but like those runners with headphones still can't even hear these. Like these things scare the Canadian geese off the trail. But let's see what the skid. I do you think? How do I Google skid lid '80s bicycle helmet? Because skid lid, I don't think it's just going to come up. All right, there'd be too many things. Skid lid '80s helmet. Try that. Yeah, Amazon's selling them now, so these are new ones. Is it this thing? Wait, I clicked on the link. Why are you not showing it to me? Oh, Spur Cycle. Terry guessed it before I could. Whiskey Six. There was a video a few years ago of someone in Britain who had an air horn on their bike and were blasting it. Get out of the bike. It was a viral video in some sort, but yeah. Oh, were skid lids leather helmets? Oh, well, Pudgy said it's a general name for a skateboarding helmet. I'll tell you what, we never wore skateboarding helmets. There was one indoor skate park that opened up in the winter, and you had to wear a helmet if you went there. And a bunch of my friends bought them, and I asked my parents, like, will you buy me a skateboard helmet? And they were like, they looked at the prices and they said no. So there you go. I do remember the leather. I mean, I don't remember them from my time, but those leather bike helmets are so funny to me. I know even in like Greg LeMond's era, like the Tour de France, they used to put on helmets when they went down a mountain, and then they would hand them back to the team car after the mountain. So let's just type in skid lid skate helmet. What is the ProTech is what I remember. Is like the skate helmets we all wore in the 90s were those ProTechs. And my friend Brad, not funny Brad, but Columbus Brad, when he first went on one of the tours with us, when he rigged up his single speed Schwinn with like a basket in the front and PVC pipe, he built his own racks. It was amazing. But yeah, he was just wearing one of the old ProTech skate helmets. So I'm going to type in skateboarding helmet. Got these fruit flies down here. They're driving me crazy. Did a company just buy that name because people were using that term? Because that's all I'm seeing as an actual company. Yeah, someone must have bought that, like trademarked that name and started making helmets under it. I'm not seeing anything that just is. Am I right on ProTech? Isn't that what those things were called? Oh, yeah. Yeah, they still exist. I'm trying to see the classic ones. These are like their more modern ones, but there's like a such a ProTech helmet. Like yeah, with the striping down the side. These are kind of the ones I remember from back in the day. It's interesting. Like Nathan said, Tim was expendable. Um, Lost my train of thought. Yeah, I had a brother and a sister, so you know. Oh yeah, waffles and coffee. You said they wore the leather skid lids helmets in Breaking Away. Yeah. Oh, Burn as well. The snowboarding helmets. Yeah, Burn made. People had those. I remember seeing the Burns in the '90s. But yeah, skate helmets are. I mean, these ProTechs always look the best. I mean, like I think that's why my friend Brad did it. His. Oh, here's like a classic looking one too. His was so old that we had to tell him like I don't. I think all you guys here know this, but like um, helmets have a lifespan, and like even mine, I should get a new one. My Collie, but you know, you bang it around, or if you wreck it a couple times, that foam only gives away like once in any direction, so they're technically not very protective once you've banged them around. But uh, yeah. Oh, Collie, that's interesting too. The media guy from Kali, Kali, mine is the kind with the light belt in the back, emailed me the other day. He said, we were watching your YouTube videos and we think it's cool you're wearing Kali helmets. And so um, I kind of casually mentioned that mine was at the end of its useful life, thinking like maybe they'd send me one, but he never responded. So whatever. But worth a try. But they reached out to me. I didn't reach out to them. So and then he also said that he used to live in Ohio. He was like, "Hey, I'm the marketing guy for Cali. It's cool you're wearing our helmets. I used to work at the newspaper in Medina." And I was like, "Oh, that's sweet." But whatever. Yeah. The guy who loaned his truck to the Goose in Mad Max had one of those leather helmets. Let's look up Breaking Away. See some stills from that movie. Oh no, they're actually wearing plastic helmets in this, not leather helmets. The cutters, that's right. Ah, it's a nice Campagnolo hat, right? I would have thought that would have been the leather helmet era, but look at those. Those are like much more modern. Let's see about. I know that I've seen pictures of Greg LeMond with those leather helmets on. That's got to be the right era. His career was long too, and was the transition during the. Huh. He's one of the first people to wear like the Aero style helmets, though I know, and also the Aero bars is how he won the his first Tour de France. No, not his first one. That was the '89 Tour de France when he beat the professor. What was his actual name? Le Professeur. Huh. Nothing came up. Let's see. Who's the guy Greg LeMond beat in the closest Tour de France ever? Someone, someone put that. Give me that name. His nickname is the Professor, and I'm drawing a total blank on his actual name. Beat him in a time trial in the final day. How could leather vintage cycling helmet not get me the results I'm looking for? Oh, here's an old Chinelli one though. There we go. Oh, Pudgy, you do have that cask you were going to sell. That's right. William, you ride with a Kali? One of the reasons I love the Kali is the light build into it. Because riding in the winter, I used to strap a headlight to my helmet just to get a light up higher. Because, like I always say, and just we don't have a lot of street lights here. People aren't looking out for bikes in Akron, Ohio. It's just the way it is. So to have a second light, I just really liked, especially when it's getting dark at like 4:30 in the evening. You know. Fignon, Fignon, Lawrence Fignon. Thanks, waffles and coffees. That was driving me crazy. He was super cool. I love Fignon's bikes. Those what were the white Benesto? Is that how you pronounce it? It's a cap, not a hat. That's right. It's because I'm using Bing. Yeah, everyone gets on my case about that. Oh, Dimitri, you won't ride at night out there? I'll show you guys what Fignon looked like if you haven't never seen the professor. The professor. Let's see if I spell this right. Fignon. Right? Didn't he ride those white Benestos? Oh, here he's on a. This is an earlier bike. But oh, this one he's on System U. I have a. Who gave this to me? Check this out. I have one of the original System U jackets. Oh, go to the big camera angle, huh? Oh, I think someone gave this to Large, and Large gave it to me. But yeah, Got two rear pockets, zip up rear pockets. I wonder if it's wool. All it has is size 3 in there. But is that Lance Armstrong out? Yeah, no helmet there. Oh yeah, he also rode for Castorama when they wore those goofy like overall style jerseys. I forgot about that. Yeah, this is more in the Benesto era. Renault, yeah, he rode for Renault, which was the Peugeot team before that. Yeah, who needs a helmet when you could just wear a headband, right? Oh yeah, that's. It's funny he was on Jeton because I think wasn't Le Mans riding Jetons when he beat him. I never hear anything about him. Didn't he die early or something? Maybe. I don't think he's still alive, and he's not like that old. I mean, he was talking early '80s. Oh, that's a Raleigh right there. Nathan, you said you don't think they made helmets mandatory until 2001. I think you're right. Yeah. Such a large forehead. If he died, he's not still alive. That is Rick. Truer words have never been spoken. Let's see. I think. Why do I think he's dead? Let's look. Yeah, he died in 2010. Lawrence Fignon. Laurent. I I never realized it was Laurent. But I guess I bet in French they don't pronounce the T, right? So Laurent Fignon. If you know how to read those pronunciation things, let me know. August 1960 to August 2010. He won the Tour de France in 83 and 84 and the Giro d'Italia in 89. Yeah, Le Mans beat him by 8 seconds. So, oh, also won Milan San Remo back to back. That's badass. Oh, he died of cancer in 2010. So, wow, it's so known that even they have a chapter on Wikipedia for losing the Tour de France by 8 seconds. So, Rick is a goddamn genius. Yeah, levers in the helmet, Pudgy. Throw those in a box and send them my way. That's not a 4 head. That's a 5 or a 6 head. Ah, shit. Wow, assuming the Frenchies don't pronounce things triggered. Oh, Terry, you're heading back to LA? Well, that shows that I've been missing all the. I've been too busy to catch anything lately. So, yeah, so you're just. You've been bouncing. Yeah, so you're out in San. I saw some of the San Francisco stuff. The Mission Crit stuff when you're out streaming there, doing the interviews and all that. I didn't know you're heading back to LA already. I love traveling, but I'm kind of glad to be at home catching up on some stuff lately. It's been a little wild, but then again, yeah, I think we'll be heading out to Connecticut. Yeah, that's another thing. So Ronnie, Ultra Romance, posted an update about Nutmeg today, but he's still they have no information on Nutmeg, so the town hasn't given the go ahead. He said to keep holding the date, and they're definitely going to do something, but they're not sure what it's going to look like. Me and Aaron and Ben had actually planned to ride into New York City. So Terry, I was thinking like, I know your schedule is you do what you do. I'm like, ah, maybe I'll hit him up and let him know that we're going to be riding, hopefully riding through town, but it's all over the place now, trying to figure out what's going to happen. But so we were thinking of riding into the city after we did Nutmeg in Connecticut with uh, Ronnie and everyone, and then like bike packing our way into New York City, then catching the train back up north to wherever we decide to park our cars. But oh, Terry, you're live streaming a fastest known time from LA to Vegas, 24-hour stream. Awesome. How did I? How could I have possibly missed all of that? I guess if you're talking about it on the live streams, but have you on Instagram even? Yeah, that just shows how busy I've been. I'm usually up on everything. Yeah, so Nutmeg Terry is on October 22nd. So that's the date of the ride is supposed to be, but something happened with the council and someone said the city council, someone like complained that last year's Nutmeg was a motorcycle rally, which is obviously ridiculous. And there's a ton of video and photography evidence to the contrary. But apparently, where we all park for Nutmeg is owned by the city. And even though it looks like a farm field, they haven't granted him approval. So he's still working out all the details. So it might end up being like kind of a bike packing thing where we end up at the farm where we used to park is kind of what he's looking at now. Uh, we'll see. But yeah, so the 22nd and 23rd would be when we're actually in Connecticut. So then it would probably be like that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday after we'd be trying to head to New York. Yeah, it'd be awesome to be able to ride and have a beer for sure. Oh yeah, they called it a gang affiliated motorcycle rally that of course Ultra Romance, a guy who I feel like he could just walk in and be like, I own a bicycle tire and bicycle bag company. Like, why would we have a motorcycle rally? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Still going to head out there. We've all held the date. So me, Aaron, and Ben and Brad all have that date held. And Pudgy, I think, is on the fence about it. But I don't know. I know you mentioned, Terry, when you were riding across the country, like doing the sandal thing and all that, being influenced by like uh, or Ronnie's style and like. But do you actually know him? Like, it would be cool. Man, I was gonna say you should live stream Nutmeg, but I would guess this cell service up there is so limited, way out there in what is that, Pudgy? Colchester County, Connecticut. So yeah, I don't know, Dimitri. It's so ridiculous for anyone to like, and of course, total chill event. And like Ronnie was saying, trying to tell the city council from what he said, like this is like a quiet part of the state, and they're like everyone was stopping at all the breweries and spending money. He's like, this is an economic boon to this part of the county. People riding bikes and spending money around here. So yeah, Chester County. Yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful out there. And of course, Ronnie finds these gnarly gravel roads like uh, who Jeff Frayne, who I know Terry, you ended up hanging out with in Minneapolis. We were standing in line with him, waiting to get our pizza for dinner the one night after the ride, and Jeff did the long version, which was like what, Pudgy, 90 miles, and he was like, some of this stuff you would just be walking down this rocky creek, and you're like, this is not even like, this is not a bike path, like this is not a bike ride. So yeah, but Jeff, I know you had a good time with him. He turned out to be the cool. I didn't even know who he was at the time. He literally turned around and was like, "How was your guys' ride and everything?" And then it was Ben who was like, "You know, that's the kind of founder of All City and runs Wild Bikes now." And I'm like, "Oh, that's Jeffrey Frayne." I had no idea. So yeah. Oh, Terry, you said with Ronnie you met him in Arkansas, but it was a big group. You didn't really get a connect. Yeah, yeah. He's like the chillest, just chillest, friendliest guy ever. Like I didn't talk to Ronnie a bunch. Just when we were starting the ride and finishing the ride and taking some photos and in passing. But just yeah, just seemed totally cool. But yeah, Jeff is awesome. Yeah. Yeah, a couple of our friends just went out to. Jeff just had a ride. What did they call that? Hoodang, something, on his parents' farm. And my buddy Woody, and then a bunch of the guys from up in Cleveland who ride for Joy Machines, their cyclocross team, went out and rode that, and they said it was awesome. So they had a blast. And I think it was kind of like a nutmeg style ride where you just go out and do the ride at your own pace, and then there's like a place to camp and have a good time, like on someone's private property. So yeah, even on this channel, there's a bunch of people from out that way, Minneapolis, who watch. I think just because the bike culture is so big, a bunch of people I met through Terry's channel, like Pixel Wolf and Robin, and oh yeah, Hodag, yeah. That would have been sweet to go. When my friends were going out there, I was so jealous, but I was doing the Route 66 video project, so I couldn't pull it off. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, William LeBron. I think someone was just out to get them, and it's probably someone who is an important person out in Connecticut and in that town, and the city council is just trying to appease them. I don't get it. Like, yeah, I should pull up some of Woody's photos from, or some of the Joy Machines guys posted a bunch of photos from that ride, and it looked awesome. I think they put it to the racing page. Oh yeah, so a couple of the people, I think a bunch of the people on this channel we've ridden with, but all the guys from Joy Machine in the front, and then that's my buddy Woody, who we started our evening Wednesday night rides with years ago. Oh wait, why, I thought that was going to scroll through the multiple. How do you do that on the web? Oh, here we go. Of course, there's no way to make Instagram bigger, so it is what it is. But yeah, that would have been a rad thing to get out to. It looked like an absolute blast. But yeah, like I said, this is kind of how Nutmeg felt. But the cool thing about, yeah, last year in Nutmeg, I thought it was great too because they lined up really good speakers. So Joe Cruz, if you know him from bikepacking.com, like gave a slideshow presentation of him riding all around the world and it was fascinating. RAR New Haven uh, did a presentation. It was so cool. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Chris? Yeah, I know I gotta go out to Minneapolis to ride. There's so many people that I want to meet, you know. How far is, I know I've looked it up on the stream before when we've been chatting about it, but did I have those photos up there or not? Was I just talking without the photos up there again? I do that sometimes. So, And even in Minneapolis, I've seen from some of our friends, like they seem to like groom like the bike trails so you could like totally ride like fat bikes in the winter. It gets considerably colder there than it does here. I from watching Robin's stories. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Choose a starting point. Yeah, home, dummies. Oh wow, it's farther than I thought. I had no idea. It's 11 hours up there. So, oh, I didn't realize this is behind the chat. Then again, I haven't figured out this new thing since they've changed OBS. So, the Alt key used to change that sizing, but now it doesn't. Oh, Terry, you rode with Joe a few times in New York? Oh, no way. That's awesome. Yeah, that dude seems so cool. Yeah, and Jeff said it was all at his family's property, which was sweet too. Yeah. All right, Dimitri, talk to you later. Yeah. Oh, Chris, you said, yep, it's cold. You got to keep it moving. Yeah, I guess I've never been to Minnesota at all. So I've been to Wisconsin because I've been to Milwaukee. Um, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the Mississippi that runs through Minneapolis. I would totally not. It's just not, you don't associate it as much like that. I mean, I don't personally, but. Oh, yeah. And then there's all the good breweries we get beer from up in Minneapolis, too. Chris, you saw your house in that map? Nice. I like my two Google warnings for looking up Minneapolis. This route has tolls. Your destination is in a different time zone. Yeah. There you go, Jay Dandy. We got some maps in here today, so you'll be happy about that. Oh man, this route. I wonder what this is like getting through Chicago. This got to be a nightmare. Because just when we were doing Route 66, we skipped Chicago, even though that's where it technically starts, just to avoid the traffic. We actually started in Joliet. I mean, we drove directly to Joliet, and that's where we started like the Route 66 stuff. But came for the funny Brad, stayed for the maps. How late is it? Oh, it's already after 11? Yeah. Did you guys get this new iPhone update with these giant clocks? After all these years, it's still throwing me off, this big old clock. But yeah, gonna wrap it up. Did Since I missed all the information, did Terry say which day he's streaming the 24-hour FKT? Because I mean, I always get the notifications, but so flying out tomorrow early morning. So, well, I'll be looking for that. I should drop that link in case some of you guys don't know. I think it should come up, right? When you go on Twitch, right, it shows you the people you follow. I only click over when I get the.
Of course.
Oh, I need a resub. I need a resub too.
Man, school don't do what I do.
On Sunday Pacific time. So yeah, there's the link to Terry's Twitch stream. Whatever, copyright problems or I don't know, sued. But yeah, so I ended up hanging out with that guy, and then we filmed him the next day. One of those random coincidences. But oh, did that play audio? I didn't. Sorry, guys. I didn't know that was playing audio. I don't have my headphones on tonight. I guess I don't even have my... That TV usually plays audio, though. I must have somehow turned it off. No, whatever. Robin on Instagram. I think his profile is public. Let me check it out. I don't want to share stuff that people don't want shared, but I think he does have a public profile. There it is. I know, that's why they make headphones. As I mentioned, I rode in here at the last second, turned on all the streaming stuff, and just hoped it worked. It was a last-minute stream, so I didn't plan ahead for headphones or anything like that. I'm just surprised everything's even working, because... Yeah, I've seen... Well, Robin did an awesome California trip this year, too, so if that, you know... But there's some of the snow photos. And you can see how it's all packed down. Here, you can't ride stuff like this in Ohio unless a couple people go out with like fat bikes and knock it down. Sometimes it just becomes unrideable. But fuck off, Pudgy. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you gotta wing it, right? All right, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. It's 11:10 at night. My beer's empty. And yeah, so I don't know. Man up, Tim, slap that snow. There's snow that's not rideable. Otis said, who owns Dirty River, he's like, everything's rideable. Last winter, there was unrideable snow. When we got 2 feet and no one had packed, you couldn't get through it. Like, it's just a fact. Sometimes it sucks. But, all right. Yeah, no real information. Like I said, I filmed last night as we found some more cool off-road stuff. So hopefully there's a video there. We'll see. Terry, hopefully that'd be so rad if we can meet up in October. I don't know when we hope to have plans by now, but like I said, things are still a little up in the air. But all right, guys, everyone have a good night, and just having a good night is
See myself on your YouTube.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Cause
Yeah.
this is not a
Fitzwater photo.